Back in the late 1980s, NASA's Hubble Space Telescope had a mission to capture snapshots of a vast universe. Little did scientists realize Hubble would capture something else, our imagination.
Whether you're at the movies, a concert, or just walking down the street, you never know when you're going to run into Hubble or its images.
I love making things. I always feel I have to be creating something.
That something is fashion for young entrepreneurs Ali Benaim and Jimena Choza.
Oh, we have it here.
But these two longtime friends also have a passion for something else.
I've always been very much into space and just trying to incorporate it in my everyday life.
I loved Hubble images, and naturally, as fashion designers, we thought, why not bring one clothing?
So the pair kicked off their own clothing line, featuring images from NASA's Hubble Space Telescope.
It's such a big unknown, but then it's just kind of like magical. It's always exciting. Whenever there's a new image, we're always super into it.
To think that there's a telescope out there that can capture the universe, it's really mind-blowing.
We love getting new customers and being able to expose them to this fun new side of science and space, and having them be as excited as we are.
1, 2, 3, Hubble!
Our planet, such a small part of such an incredibly immense reality.
That reality is on full display at St. Paul the Apostle Catholic Church in Nassau Bay, Texas.
Parishioners love this church, and they love the windows particularly because they just evoke so much emotion.
That's because church officials chose to represent the heavens with photos from the Hubble Space Telescope. But the celestial imagery didn't get incorporated into the decor by chance. This parish sits across the street from NASA's Johnson Space Center.
Over the years, this parish has had 35 parishioners who were astronauts. One of them, in fact, actually did a spacewalk to work on Hubble.
A Hubble that reminds us all of the beauty in our universe that extends far beyond the planet we live on.
Honey, I miss you, and I'm being good.
Bobby Goldsboro is an American singer and songwriter. For decades, he played at venues all over the world. But when Bobby turned 65, he discovered a talent he didn't even know he had.
By the time I started, I felt like I had practiced in my head for 30 years. When I get into something, I just jump in with both feet.
And that he did, painting mostly landscapes and birds, with much of his work ending up in art galleries and museums. So Bobby, this is the Eagle Nebula.
Mm-hmm.
What drew you to paint this?
Well, that was the photo that our friend first showed us, and I had never seen the Hubble photos. And when she brought that in for breakfast one morning and asked me if I could paint that, I said, "That is gorgeous, what is it?" And she told me it was a Hubble photo from the telescope, and I was hooked. I've been a fan of the Hubble photos ever since.
But what Bobby didn't expect, how Hubble was actually connecting the dots between his love of painting and a childhood dream.
Before they had astronauts, I wanted to go into space. I mean, I just drew up rocket ships back in the 6th or 7th grade. And for the last 50 years, I haven't thought that much about it. When I started painting these Hubbles, I feel like I'm up there in the Hubble spacecraft and seeing all these cloud formations and gases and explosions and things going on. I love to tell the stories behind each painting when somebody comes to see them, because it starts people thinking, and all of a sudden they can get into it. I hope that they get the same feelings out of these paintings that I get when I do them.
The period we're currently living in, informed by Hubble Space Telescope, has been not just remarkable, but revolutionary, not just in our understanding of how the universe works, but also in the ability of Hubble to engage people around the world in appreciation of astronomy.
A field of astronomy that's forever changed because of our unique connection to a telescope that no one could have ever predicted. From the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore, Maryland, I'm Mary Estacion.